From Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, this is Poker Night in America. Well, hello and welcome to Poker Night in America. I'm Chris Hansen alongside Stapes, the one and only Joe Stapleton.
And no, we have not retired to South Florida. We're just filming here for probably the rest of our lives.
You know, I would really at some point like to get home to see my wife and kids.
Well, then let's move swiftly along to this evening's lineup. Good gravy. Check it out. Have I died and gone to televised poker heaven? Matt Glantz, Frank Casella, Avi Friedman, and Phil Locker in for $10,000. Sean Deeb and Jeremy Kaufman are in for 20 large. And lastly, the never-ending, overcompensating $50,000 belongs to the one and only Doug Polk.
Delivering match.
So our blinds, per the usual, will be 25 and 50.
And I would expect a lot of straddling to $100. That's a minimum blind raise, which does afford you last action pre-flop.
That was the most eloquent describing of a straddle I've ever heard.
And Sean Deeb is doing it. The opposite of eloquent.
King of hearts.
Deuces for Frank Casella.
How do you check the turn?
And Jeremy Kaufman as jacks.
He's going to value that.
Did I misread the... What was the river?
He's raising.
It was the king of clubs.
Wow, you think Matt's a huge nit. Holy That's a bang right there.
That's bang.
Actually folded ace king.
I can't wait to see this
And
show.
I would expect a lot of these guys to come along for the ride in all the pots Kaufman's in.
Queen there. For that amount, anyway. He knows that.
5-7 suited for Sean Deeb. That is good enough for a call.
Yeah.
5 1/4, 4 1/4.
And also good enough for deuces.
I'd get there
See a
eventually.
flop.
You're going to call one, you're going to call the other.
Yeah. Trying to get it all nailed in.
All right, here comes our first flop of the evening, brought to you by the stifling South Florida heat. It's 6 Queen 9.
Who's that chick taking pictures?
2 diamonds on this flop. Very dangerous for jacks.
Jennifer will do whatever it
Please,
takes to get the
someone
perfect
spot her
picture.
so she doesn't fall.
Deeb's also got a gut shot straight draw.
I'm not going to fall. I'm athletic.
It seems like maybe Matt should bluff
Kaufman the favorite, but
more. You know,
barely.
people are just like folding their...
Sean, I bluff Sean.
Oh, Jennifer, please be careful up there. The world needs a new Chucky movie every 6.5 months.
I don't want this to be how Jennifer Tilly meets her maker.
Going to a new place.
Get off the ladder.
Sean's here, we gotta get a wider angle.
All right, so Kaufman has bet 600. Deeb calls.
Don't lie to us.
And now Deeb picks up a pair to go with his draws.
So there are so many ways now that Deeb can ruin Kaufman's day.
Kaufman checks.
Diamonds, 5s, 8s, 7s. Although I don't think you can really ruin Jeremy Kaufman's day. I think he's more masochistic than Chuck Rhodes.
Let's put 2 of those out.
1,500 was the bet.
If I walk away with nothing else from this hand, I did get change.
Call and some change.
And there it is, the nipple piercing.
Oh, come on.
2 pair for Deeb. Jack's no match for the 5-7.
Deeb's going to bet here, and I know Kaufman is going to call, no matter what it is.
I have to call him, and really, do you have the 8?
Yeah, I don't see it. When you have nearly as much fun losing as you do winning, it's really hard to find a fold here.
I call.
He's doing it.
It's happening.
Slow roll. Easy, bro, you're obviously getting slow rolled.
Rolling
Obviously
in the
it's
Deeb.
Just don't,
Slow rolling.
don't fall for that.
It's really not fair for you to have skill and luck.
Well, he doesn't have both, so. So you let me... Oh, Lord.
All right, Kaufman's going to straddle this time. Deeb with 4-5 of hearts. Yep, 300. Glance folds.
I do. Would you like to drink from it?
No, it was room temperature. So
You call blow on that?
Avi Freeman's going to get involved with his first pot.
Well, now.
Oh, no.
Ace Queen in the straddle. Here we go.
Do you want to call?
Ask Avi.
Do you want to call?
Sure.
All right.
Not a call.
Oh,
Ask about a raise.
That
Didn't see that coming.
That was so bad-mannered.
Bad mannered.
So
That was
bad-mannered.
considered bad mannered.
Like, how bad-mannered is that? Do you want to call? He's like, yeah, sure. And then you re-raise.
I'm glad I asked Avi instead of me saying something, you know.
only glad I don't know his hand for this one.
I'm all in.
Friedman moves all in.
Oh, snap! Back the other way now.
I'm all in.
Kaufman reshoves.
Avi, you
don't
should
think my
ask
hand's
if he
gonna
wanted to
hit.
call.
These two are flipping
You're right.
like a courtesy flush versus lighting a match. One of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
Chop, chop, chop. What did you have?
2-on-2 action, like the worst porn ever made.
Oh, God.
You actually have 4 hours?
You're not Jeremy's brother.
Israeli porn.
I know it's shocking I opened that wide there.
Am I gonna flop 1 pair or 2 pair? I think 2.
1 pair.
2 pair. Just 1.
Hoffman takes the lead.
Maybe the turn.
Come on,
the
club
turn.
for
The
Avi.
turn. The turn.
Friedman needs a 4.
And there's only 1 left in the deck.
Queen.
Oh my God.
What'd you make?
4, 5.
You would have flopped it, everyone.
What do you have?
The nuts.
4 or 5 hearts.
I'm glad I got rid of you.
Oh,
Yeah, I would have definitely called the flop turn and river.
Obviously.
How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play. Welcome back to Poker Night in America at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida.
Funny, you should mention the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino here in Hollywood, Florida. Did you know they also conduct several poker tournaments in addition to letting us film cash games here?
Wow, I had a feeling, but I would love to know more information about the matter.
And that's how you lead into a feature.
Nailed it. While we were filming cash games this week here at Seminole Hard Rock, we also had the 2017 Rock and Roll Poker Open taking place. This championship had 585 entries for a $2 million prize pool. Going out in 6th place for a win of $75,000 was Tom Marchese. Ari Engel took home 5th place and the $93,000 that goes with it. Shetty Siddiqui wins $121,000 for 4th place. 3rd, you gotta love it, Daryl Fish. $168,000. Our 2nd place finisher was Mattis Symbolis for $262,000. And our winner of the championship, the Rock and Roll Poker Open, goes to Michael Newman, $374K, plus one heck of a sweet trophy and a smile.
Appropriately, you should have had at least
A monster for me.
considered.
We move on from the tournament play back to the cash play here at Seminole Hard Rock.
I'm not gonna call.
LDP, the Church
Right,
of
yeah.
Jesus Christ of
I would
Latter-day.
call. We're playing a hand. I don't have ace king again.
Phil Lock
I'm
straddling.
weaker than ace king.
How does that go?
LDP.
Loose.
Jack 8 for Sean Deeb is
Lock
going to
down
get
poker.
played.
Just lock.
But LDS.
Guys,
Matt Clance, will you join the party?
Christ of the Latter-day.
He does.
Thank you.
He's in with 8-9 suited.
Damn, that was dug deep there.
Doug Shallow. Shallow.
You're
All
better.
right, 4 players.
You're better than that. You got some good material sometimes.
King high flop.
It's not all gonna be
Top
winners.
pair for Friedman.
Yeah, but that was like, that was really bad.
2nd pair for Glance.
Especially, like, that would be a great joke if, like, I had Frank's back.
Everyone check. Here we go to the turn.
You know?
2 pair now for Glance. Nobody is betting.
I don't think Glance is gonna let this check around a 2nd time.
I would agree. So here comes 900. Friedman with top pair.
Why'd everyone all
Well,
stop
it's in the
talking all of a
matrix,
sudden?
Jeremy.
It's
Calls.
weird.
Yeah,
And
it's
I would
like
raise a
everyone
lot,
got
but I'm
muted.
not. So I'm folding because I'm not in the matrix. Right? It's not in the flop.
Good
That's a
to not be in the
4,200.
matrix.
That's a 4,200.
Jack 10
right
of clubs, you folded?
He took the blue pill.
Yeah, right.
there. No, I would
That
call
hand
it.
works well in this world.
I'm sorry, there's only one world.
Wow, and better 2 pair for Friedman on the river.
Nice river, Avi.
There's 2 worlds apparently.
Phil,
Maybe I did a good thing.
only one world?
That's bets 2,000.
Actually, there are scientists that think there are
I'm all in.
nearly infinite number of worlds, and it
All
wouldn't
in
have
from
worked. My
Friedman.
plan would not have worked. I don't think.
Just in this world.
I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, live in this world
This
we got
world?
going here.
This
It's a
one,
nice
yeah.
one. It's a nice one.
Glance has got to figure out how often Avi
made the
Friedman's
clip.
got an
Go ahead,
all-in
dodge the
bluff
clip.
in him on the river.
The train wreck ones were like, well, this is really, you're very kind.
He's not beating any value bets,
in a
but the
funny
thing
way.
is that a lot of things missed on this river. Hearts missed.
Yeah, yeah.
All the big straight draws
spare
missed.
people unless they really deserve it, but
Wow.
And Lance makes the correct fold.
The bluff.
You gotta
show the
show it,
bluff.
Avi.
Show
You gotta
the
show it.
bluff.
Show the 4.
Show one card.
Show the 7 of hearts. Come on.
Shows the king. Interesting.
Oh, God.
Oh, did you have king 4?
So brutal.
4 of
The
spades.
4 comes in the river. It's so brutal.
Looks like a brick.
I love how Avi doesn't even know what card to show. You gotta show the 4 there, man.
Like fried chicken.
Well, showing the king is fun too, because then it looks like you got beat just by top pair, you know, that you folded to. That's either card's a good one to show there.
Fried Snicker bars?
I'll allow it.
They're pretty good.
Do you have a
The
tell
lock
for like when
raising
you eat
with
them?
suited connectors.
Doug Polk re-raising the 1500 with ace king. Wants to thin the field a little bit.
15?
Oh, he's thinning it all the way down to Phil Locke.
Get an action from the one guy you'd probably least like to have it from.
Got like 11 there-ish.
True story.
Phil.
Flop is 5-7 jack.
So Phil flops a pair and backdoor straight and flush draws.
Continuation coming from Polk. Yep, 1,000.
I don't think Phil can fold when he's got so many good turns he can hit, and fold he does not. And there is one of those good turns.
Oh, wow.
Not as good as, say, the 4 of diamonds, but a diamond is good enough.
Locke checks again.
And don't forget, Phil's winning.
Oh, that's true. He's ahead.
He doesn't have to hit a diamond.
2,800.
2,800's the bet.
You might be ready to go for a raise here.
Phil Locke, such a tough player. Always knows where he's at in the hand. I don't know if I've ever seen Phil get bluffed, honestly. And especially not by a pro. I've seen some amateurs bluff him, but that's about it.
Just a call from Locke. And
Oh,
wow.
what a river.
He didn't need it, but it sure is pretty to do.
I don't think Doug's ever going to put Phil on a 5 in his hand.
All in?
And all of the flop draws missed.
Locke
And the turn draws missed.
puts it all in here on the river. It's
Locke makes it,
62.50, which is like the perfect all-in for the amount of money that was already in the pot, right?
Yep. Makes it pretty tough for Doug to fold. Doug's getting almost 3-1.
No, this can't be.
And Doug has the bluff catcher of all bluff catchers.
Why would you bet here?
Just to confuse you, son.
Weird hand. It's a weird hand. All right, I surrender.
Good fold, although you
What'd you
have
have?
ace high.
At ace king.
Ace king. I had a 5. Clean there. Right?
Oh, it
feels
seems like
it's
Phil
the
Locke
issue.
is
If I
plugged into the
had
matrix
kings,
now.
It's like, yeah, it's a quantum thought experiment. If you
Phil
had-
Locke isn't plugged into the matrix.
Probably
Phil
not.
Locke is the matrix.
So I think that in real life,
have someone
live
show you
games,
aces?
the guy has
Doug
10
Polk will
jack
start
there.
us off with King Queen.
Enough that I'm
Sean
influenced
D
by,
with
like, well,
eights.
what do people really do? But you're a poker player that goes by GTO, so it was weird for me. But if you're like a live guy in the game that I play, I don't know. It's like,
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to have bluffs. I'm going to obviously fold those.
right.
So then if I start
your
folding
bluff.
kings, I'm not calling many hands.
Yeah.
4 ways to this flop, and it's a set of 8s for Sean Deeb and a flop flush for Casella.
Look at this hand.
The thing that ruins me the most playing with you guys on my left is my fear of, I still will make decisions that I'm going to be mostly roughly, oh, well, maybe I didn't know I did. But the fear during the stuff, that's the gross part that I don't like.
What do you mean?
They're going to just do some, like how Sean will just try and steal a pot if he when he narrows your range down, he'll just try and earn off of you by bluffing.
600 the bet
you
from
know,
Casella and a
bam,
call
and he puts it
from
around
Deeb.
precisely, so I'm
Gonna play it
afraid of my
cautiously.
Hammer coming down in these weird moments where I'm like, oh, I don't really. Yeah.
You don't want to make tough decisions.
2K the bet.
You want to pre-make your tough decisions.
Correct. That's a big. That's a
Yeah,
that's
of
a good way to.
Yeah.
Idea. Yeah.
I played with you before.
There was a while where, at the first year we were playing poker, Antonio was
And the
raising. Every
call.
time I entered the pot, he raised. And I said, okay, starting today, right now, at this moment, if I raise and you re-raise, I'm just going all in. I don't care if it's like 5-6 or ace king. That's the new thing for you until you get trained. And he, I told him out loud, and then he started doing it. And I went all in, and he kept calling me, and it was weird. 9-10 was weak. 5-6.
Steve just calls the whole way, and that's no good.
But he was calling, and then he gave up.
Funny is,
like
I
8 times
had a
in a
hand
row.
where I thought,
Scary
I'm never
stuff.
playing
You
this.
don't want to.
I've seen so many people win with 10-4 today. I thought,
Frank Casella is such a cool Arizona dad that he calls 300 pre with 10-4 suited.
Poker Night in America, a supporter of cool dads everywhere. Back after this.
What, last time?
That's what they do.
Oh, that's what I folded last time.
Ooh, Queen Jack suited.
They enjoy it.
No one ever wins with this hand.
Doug, are we ready for drinks?
Yeah, I'll take a water.
I already got a coffee.
Who's gonna ruin the fun by raising?
A water
Nice
spiked,
hand,
spiked
Sean.
with
Nice hand.
ice
well
cubes.
played. Stole the money.
Good flop for me.
Family pot.
Nobody is causing ripples. Look at this. Everyone's
Casella has the option. He's straddled. He's last to act. I would not expect this to go check.
Re-raise?
So he can make it like 1,400.
4 million.
Oh, Lord.
he
Mason
raises
100. I love it.
the min raise. That's great.
Now someone else needs to min raise.
What?
That's it? Nobody?
I was a little nervous.
Because then it becomes like at some point.
Someone's got to raise.
It's either going to be 300
All right,
or
it's a
1400.
dysfunctional family pot.
There it is. King 10-4. Top pair for Kaufman. Straight draw for Casella.
What were the chances?
Up and down straight draw for Friedman.
9.
Doug Polk decides to lead at this with middle pair.
What is going on here?
Lance calls with bottom pair.
What is
Casella calls. Friedman calls.
You guys are sick.
Kaufman shows his hand to lock.
Yep.
All right, so we went from 7 down to 5 to go to the turn. Another 4 is on the
my
turn.
God, how good do you run, Mac Lance?
Is it on me?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Calls with by far the worst hand. Well, not by far the worst hand, I guess, but calls with bottom pair, turns trips, rivers a jack. Oh, I'm so sorry, you don't run good. You do not run good.
She's bringing me this coffee. It's stout.
Ace queen,
7,000.
the nuts. At least based on the hands that are out
It's
there.
on me. What'd you bet?
7,000 about.
All of it?
Now spare a thought for Frank Casella, who now has to call $7,000 and probably can't get any more action behind him.
Do not. You were straight?
Yeah, brother.
You win.
The nut straight.
What'd you have?
Don't matter.
I had nothing much.
Jeremy's just fired up. Nothing wrong with that.
Mac Lance is reloaded.
Nothing wrong with being
This is
fired
the
up.
most exciting poker night in America I've ever been on.
Same.
Really?
He's losing less than any other one, so.
I'm excited.
Steam raise.
Seam raise.
There have been some epic
Team
swings
re-raise.
by Kaufman on Poker Night in America.
Yeah, his graph is pretty boring
Oopsie.
today.
Up, did that up. Got a little dice.
Did you
Doug
see them?
Polk makes
I
it
did.
1,200 with Ace
I
King.
knew what they were.
Jeremy,
Back
show
to
this entire
Kaufman.
side of
Calls?
the table, your cards. Like, flash them
Yeah.
off this way.
Like,
so we
no,
all see it.
that
I
was
Like,
won't look. I won't look.
sideways.
Here, you can go for it.
Well,
Ready?
I need to
What's
see
the other
Let
them.
him know.
Okay.
Are we good?
The other one.
We
don't know
It's a
yet.
half sweat.
Oh, boy.
9-7 is the flop.
Check.
Kaufman's going to be
put such a
looking to
pussy
cash
bet
in
out?
here.
It's in the labs. It's all analyzed in
Part
the
of the
labs.
GTO strategy.
The bet's just 800.
I might be tempted to raise here, actually.
3,200.
There it is. Raise the 3,200. I think you can try to protect against another spade coming.
It's not a.
You can get value out of top
politically
pair.
correct way of saying it.
You get value out of over
Jeremy
pairs.
stacks all that shit. Would've bet this.
Now, don't you want to know what the other one is?
When Doug
There we
3-bets
go.
you pre-flop, there's lots of hands that can give you action here in the raise. I like the raise.
Who's the tough guy now?
He's got the action.
6,000.
Interesting accent.
Don't run away now.
Yeah, Doug can't really be loving this.
YouTube hand of the week.
It looks like Doug hates his hand right
He's
now.
invited every episode.
It looks like Doug cannot fold, but hates his hand.
That's a good read.
This is one of those spots where against like
Everyone else?
against like anyone else, you know. But it's not everyone else. So all right,
Wow.
do it.
Kings up.
Doug just puts the rest of it in. Doug drawing very
I'm
thin.
drawing pretty thin here.
You have a king? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Come on. Where is the justice? Do not high five him.
Did you leave me hanging?
No.
That is disgusting.
No, so that's not even fair.
I'll take these.
More from these clowns when we return. High five, Joe. How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play. Welcome back to the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, where the chips have been flying, mostly away from the two amateurs at the table.
Kaufman actually got it in super good against Doug Polk there for 40 grand, but Doug peeled a miracle ace on the river. He's up over 13,000. Frank Casella is up over 16,000. Compliments of Matt Clance and Sean Deeb. The guy having the most fun, Jeremy Kaufman, is down 30 grand, but I'm fairly certain he'll get a chance to win it back next time.
Wow. Very liberal use of the word chance there, Stapleton.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're going to go on one of those YouTube click holes, try that video next. Or maybe this one. Yeah? Yeah, perfect. Okay.